Jon Jones is the GOAT. I'm going to put it right here. He is the GOAT. No one can say anything. UFC 285. Man, oh man, I was up so late last night, and we need to talk about the fight and just the overall card itself. So many fighters that we have to get into. I'm a big fan of the UFC, just absolutely love it, so I decided to bring out some new, different content for you guys. So here we go. I have to say, first off, this was a really good card. Not to mention the prelims. So one of the first prelims that I do want to talk about is Ian Garry. So he is a crazy fighter, coming out from Ireland, gives a lot of like McGregor vibes. Just a really great fighter. I mean, if you look at the damage that he put on the other guy, he had bruises all over his face. It looked crazy. Man, he is a rising star, and it's really going to be interesting to see if another like Irish fighter can make it as high as Conor McGregor did. So that should be really interesting. Derek Brunson fight, going against the Dricus du Plessis. I had to look at my phone to honestly say his name, but the South African guy, he is not too bad. I gotta say, he's a pretty good fighter, coming off from a win off Darren Till. I mean, we all know about Darren, dropped off out of the UFC, kind of had a downwards, kind of trend. So this was going to be an interesting fight for him, but going up against Derek Brunson, there was a 10-year gap between the two. So Brunson was 39 years old, the other guy 29, so that's pretty crazy. Brunson just looked very tired. I mean, we obviously know about Brunson, he's a great fighter, but let's be honest, it may be the end of his career. That was just a really interesting match. They both gassed out, and obviously we ended up seeing the end of that. So man, now there is one fight that I have to say in the prelim was a horrible fight, and that was the Cody Garbrandt fight. That was absolutely atrocious. Trevin Jones, he came in here and he's talking all this like smack about how he's going to really display his skill set. He's going to show everybody why he's this like rising star in the UFC, and I mean, we honestly saw garbage. It was garbage. Like, let's be honest here, guys. That fight was horrible. 8 strikes, I want to say, like 8 to 10 strikes for the entire match is brutal. Absolutely brutal. And Cody Garbrandt, I mean, he looked clean. He looked like the classic Cody Garbrandt that we saw, but I think he was being more of a counter striker that entire fight. He did, those dances that we normally see him do, so that was pretty interesting. But again, horrible fight, worst way to end the prelim, but the main card was coming, and I was getting hyped, waiting for the Jon Jones fight. The main card started off with an absolute banger. If you guys know, Bo Nickel is a rising star in the UFC, and this was his like official debut that he actually had. Man, Bo Nickel made it look easy. This kind of felt like a Khamzat kind of like first fight. Bo Nickel just went in for this crazy wild kick, and then all of a sudden just like baited the other guy into trying to go down for a strike. Bo Nickel went in for the takedown and just had him in this nasty choke. Guy had nothing to do whatsoever. Gets the first round finish via submission, just made it look easy. I mean, man, I'm so excited to see Bo Nickel just like grow in the UFC. It's going to be insane. I would love to see Khamzat versus Bo Nickel eventually in the future. That'd be such an interesting fight, like based on like style. So that would be really just absolutely crazy. The Jalen Turner fight was really interesting. Jalen Turner is a massive guy. I mean, his wingspan is so long, really lengthy but strong guy, and we honestly were curious to see how he would go up against Matthews Gamrot. And again, I don't know how to say the guy's name, but it was going to be really interesting. And what we got to see was that clearly Jalen Turner needs to work on his wrestling game. That guy got taken down so many different times. He didn't really know what to do. I mean, he did have a few takedown defenses, but again, like most of the fight, it was just take him to the ground. Jalen Turner obviously has really good striking, and we saw that. He did have 2 knockdowns, which was nice, but again, just his wrestling was bad. Obviously, cannot forget about the Valentina Shevchenko fight. I mean, the champion losing her belt. Again, simple miss by a horrible kick that led her to getting choked out. Crazy, but she'll come back. She's a boss. And lastly, Jon Jones, Jon Bone Jones. He came back so huge, so just strong, and dude, he made that look so easy. Serial gain, whatever you guys want to call it. looked horrible in that fight. So again, absolutely crazy. Jon Jones is back, the heavyweight champion. Who do you think he's going to go up against next? I hope it is Stipe Miocic. That would be insane. Jon Jones versus Stipe. Let me know what you guys think about the UFC 285 card. Peace out. Bye.